Brace yourself. Here are 11 of the most interesting things that have been found inside giant snakes. Number 11. Porcupine. An African rock python bit off more than it could chew and paid the price for it. This giant snake was found dead by a cyclist on the side of a mountain bike trail at Lake Eland Game Reserve. Park rangers decided to cut the python open to determine the cause of death, only to reveal the spiky 30-pound quill-covered animal hidden inside. Snakes have been known to eat porcupines, but in this case, the razor-sharp quills may have pierced the python's digestive tract, which most likely killed the animal. Number 10. Kangaroo. An elegant dinner party in northern Australia was interrupted by another, much more disturbing dinner party taking place on the front lawn when guests noticed a 6-foot python wrapped around a kangaroo and crushing it to death. In a country where kangaroos are abundant, this hungry python decided to give bystanders a night to remember. After finishing their dinner, the guests returned to the scene of the crime to find the unlucky kangaroo had in fact been swallowed whole. A meal this size would be enough to sustain most snakes for at least 3 months. Doesn't sound like this snake saved any room for dessert. Number 9. Electric blanket. A 12-foot Burmese python named Houdini made a meal of a queen-sized electric blanket, including the electrical cord and control panel. The household blanket was routinely kept in the snake's cage to keep it warm, since snakes can't generate their own body heat. The owner guesses the electric blanket may have gotten tangled in the snake's food when a live rabbit was fed to it earlier in the day. The snake underwent emergency 2-hour surgery at a local veterinary clinic and has since made a full recovery. The electric blanket, on the other hand, wasn't so lucky. Number 8. Other snakes. It's a snake-eat snake world out there. Recent video footage from the Sichuan Province of China shows a grueling battle between 2 snakes, ending in one being eaten by the other. While neither snake was venomous, the smaller of the 2 snakes was able to overpower its much larger rival and then devour it completely. As crazy as it may sound, this isn't that unusual of an event. That'll put a bad taste in your mouth. Number 7. Set of golf clubs. Golfers on a North Georgia golf course were shocked to find an enormous snake made off with a set of their clubs while they rested in the clubhouse between rounds. The golfers reported the incident to local police, who were able to locate the snake, but unable to recover the stolen clubs. It's unclear whether the golfers were able to complete their round, but rest assured, they all had a great story to share afterwards. To this day, the snake has not been charged with a crime. Number 6. Centipede. While a centipede may not seem that interesting of a meal, back in 2013, a young nose-horned viper on Snake Island in Macedonia was found dead with a centipede's head protruding out of its body. The snake had apparently consumed its prey while still alive, but the centipede ate its way back through the snake's abdominal wall, trying to escape. The dissection of the snake showed that the centipede caused damage to the snake's internal organs, either chemically or mechanically. When found, the centipede occupied the entire volume of the viper's body. Nose-horned vipers regularly feast on small mammals and even centipedes too. But in this instance, the unfortunate snake severely underestimated the size and strength of its prey. Number 5. Full Igloo Cooler. When snakes get hungry, they usually attack the first thing they find, regardless of what it is or how difficult it may be to swallow. Take, for instance, a snake that snacked on a cooler full of beer at a camping site in Brazil. Initially presumed to be a hoax, the snake was later found and taken to a university medical center in the area. Though it was relatively easy for the snake to get the cooler down, digesting its meal would have been impossible. The cooler was ultimately recovered, but the beer, on the other hand, was determined to be undrinkable since it was no longer cold. Number 4. alligator. An unsuspecting group of hikers in Queensland, Australia, came across a massive fight to the death between a water python and a full-grown crocodile, two of the most ferocious predators in the world. The battle lasted for 5 hours, with the snake ultimately winning. The python eventually overtook the crocodile by coiling its body around its legs and suffocating it underwater. After the crocodile had died, the snake uncoiled itself, and the 10-foot snake then dragged the croc ashore and continued to swallow it whole in front of a group of curious onlookers. Definitely not a sight most people see every day. Number 3. Krispy Kreme Doughnuts. A Florida Krispy Kreme employee was shocked to discover a 10-foot snake nesting in the dumpster behind the store. The snake had been gorging on the discarded donuts from the previous night. Estimates are the snake's feast consisted of 4 to 5 dozen of the tasty treats. Experts assume the snake presumably thought the glazed donuts were eggs from another animal. As delicious as that may sound, the snake actually became quite ill and had to be treated at the local animal hospital. Number 2. Set of tires. A giant snake in rural Louisiana helped itself to a set of tires stacked behind a storage shed. The tires were originally reported stolen by the owner, and neighbors in the area were initially suspected. Days after the disappearance, the partially digested tires were discovered near the scene of the crime. Although the snake was never found, local animal control agents were able to piece together the mystery. Unfortunately though, no one was able to piece together the tires. And finally, at number 1, Hippo. When you're hungry, you're hungry. And as unbelievable as it may sound, a ravenous snake in Africa was witnessed by fascinated groups of tourists swallowing an entire hippopotamus. The spectacle, which lasted for over 8 hours, made headlines around the globe. After swallowing the hippo, the snake was too bloated to move to a private spot to finish digesting its meal. Minutes after consuming the hippo, the whole animal was then regurgitated by the snake. Its eyes, in this case, were obviously bigger than its stomach. These were 11 of the most interesting things that have been found inside giant snakes. Don't forget to subscribe to Epic Wildlife for more videos like this.